Jerry Seinfeld is raising some eyebrows over comments he made in a recent interview. So to give this a little more context, he was having a conversation with journalist Bari Weiss about his movie Unfrosted, which is set in the 1960s. And Jerry mentioned some of the things he missed from that era. Take a look.
I've always wanted to be a real man. I never made it. But I really thought when I was in that era, again, it was JFK, it was Muhammad Ali, it was Sean Connery, Howard Cosell. You can go all the way down there. That's a real man. I want to be like that someday. Well, no. I miss a dominant masculinity. Yeah, I get the toxic thing. I get it. But still, I like a real man.
All right, so let's talk about it. Anybody offended? What is dominant masculinity? Is it no longer here? What is a real man to you?
I think it's a spectrum, right? And I kind of agree with what he's saying. Where you're not allowed to think like that anymore. This whole cancel culture that I like to call cancer culture, this is the result from it, right? You're not allowed to say you want to be a masculine man anymore because it gets all mixed up with toxic masculinity, and that's not what that means. I think being a man yourself, to me, is taking care of your family, right? Being a good husband to your wife, supporting her if something went wrong, whether it be physical or verbal or not at all, right? But being there and supporting your family, that's masculine to me. And if you ever watch Seinfeld, by the way, he always makes fun of himself how he's not a real man. He eats cereal at 3 in the morning, or 3 in the afternoon. Superman's his idol, and he's always talking about, I can't be in a relationship because I'm a man-child. So this is coming from a place of jest, but you're not allowed to talk like that anymore. You're automatically labeled something, and it's just toxic, and you're out of the conversation. I kind of agree with what he's saying. We're missing that in today's day and age.
Well, I think what you have with what he said is a launching pad. You can kind of choose two directions. You can choose the, yes, well, a lot of things were bad for a lot of people, which they were in the 60s. Or you can go down, what I feel is the more interesting path is, what does it mean to you? And the idea of it being toxic doesn't even need to go into it, because life isn't that black and white. Masculinity, I think, to not only the observer, but the person that's going through it, is you evolving as a person and as a man in this world. I have never felt more masculine than the time that I was so tired changing Elijah's diaper that I did in the dark.
Aww.
And I couldn't believe, because I couldn't do it with like my mom and my ex-wife helping me at one point. And I couldn't believe that I had evolved to that point. But also, like you said, if we're out with Sam and Tori and somebody's feeling froggy, I'm not going to be like, ladies, you guys need to handle that. Like, me and Jeff are going to be like, what's the problem here? Not because we're tough guys at all, but just because that's not going down on our watch. So there is a delicate balance, and I think when you start trying to embody and play the role of some character you've seen on television that's masculine, that's when you get into trouble, because you're not being your true self. And I think that comes out. Your authenticity isn't there.
I think that was beautiful what you said.
Yeah.
That was so lovely. Just really quickly, just remember, he didn't say just masculinity. He said dominant. And I think, I get it. Masculinity is a spectrum. It's just the dominant thing that people have an issue with. But again, this is a long form podcast. That's what it's supposed to bring up, conversations like this. So I have no issue with Jerry. I also think he was doing it in jest. And I like these long form interviews. I like how you get more of that opinion. So I had no issue with it.
I have heard that younger guys coming up, 15, 18, 19, have had some issues because they're getting all their stuff from the internet.
Right.
So some people are saying, you're being too masculine right now. You're being a dominant, toxic male. And at the same time, you're getting people saying, hey, I need you to step up here, pay for dinner, open my door, buddy. And
it can be confusing.
Yeah, in our 40s, we know how to navigate that. But I could imagine being a confused kid at 16, 18, trying to figure that out. So it's different.
That's when you have a conversation, though, right?
Several conversations.
Okay, so Nicole Kidman is getting hot and heavy with Zac Efron in a new movie called A Family Affair. The two play lovers, much to the disapproval of Nicole's on-screen daughter. Take a look.
This is madness, right? Yeah, this is your mom and your boss, who you hate. It's weird.
Mom?
Zara, if you can hear me, name the movie I won a Teen Choice Award for.
All right.
I think she's fine.
I went a little crazy. I'm allowed, right?
I've been waiting for you forever.
Is that a line from a movie?
Yeah.
This is just getting worse by the minute.
This is the latest film about an older woman falling for a much younger man. Earlier this month, Anne Hathaway starred in The Idea of You, a similar story about how her romance with a much younger boy band star caused tension with her daughter. I just have to say, in my neighborhood, all the moms are watching The Idea of You, and we were at, one of the moms was with Mark and I, we were doing something family friendly with the kids, and she brought up, she's like, have you seen Idea of You? Mark's right behind us, but we weren't aware he was listening. And I was like, no, I haven't, but everyone's talking about it. She's like, oh my gosh, if I were to ever get in a divorce, I'm not saying I wouldn't go for a 25-year-old. And Mark's like, what are you guys talking about? So this is a movie where I think a lot of stay-at-home moms might have this fantasy for whatever reason, suburban moms, and now we're getting to see it in play. We see it flipped all the time.
But is it why they call that The Idea of You? Because the actual application of that is going to be terrible?
That's interesting. I haven't seen the movie, so that maybe that's brought up
and that's
in there.
exactly very much in it. Yeah, the book
I think,
and all of that is about that.
On paper, it's like 25 and I'm 50 and they like me. Until like you have to like really get into like who you guys are as people.
Well, I don't think they're trying to get to know one another. I think they're just having fun.
There is a sense.
I'm all for that.
Yeah. So Nicole and Zach starred together in The Paperboy in 2012, which is also about fantasies. And I mean, okay, then that's hello, hi Nicole. I think that this is also because a lot of our age people are coming of age, and a lot of these movies are for us.
Yes, they are.
You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't have a problem with it because I grew up with every other man being 20 years older than every other woman.
Right, Pretty Woman.
Everything.
Right?
And it was normal. I mean, it was just absolutely, like every Bond girl was like,
do you think this is a fantasy for a lot of women your age?
I do.
I think so too, yeah. And I know for a fact, The Idea of You, he was supposed to be Harry Styles. And for a lot of women, I think that fantasy of the style boy.
I don't get it.
I mean, I think a lot of people have fantasies about Harry Styles.
Oh, okay.
They're also two very attractive people, which, let's just face it, it comes into play here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Totally.
When you're thinking of
Not
Nicole,
every 50-year-old that looks like that.
Yeah, my point.
Yeah.
People of coming of age that are our age.
Are you going to watch this, Jeff? Are you going to watch this?
Yeah, I like Zac Efron. He's a little cutie.
You like Nicole Kidman?
I do. She's a fantastic actress, and she gave me a free trip to
Australia.
And I met Zac Efron one time, and he was very kind to me. So I like both of them.
What was he like?
I'm just name dropping over here.
Is he nice?
He's such a sweet. He even indulged me. He's like, I think I saw you on Amazing Race. I'm like, no, you didn't.
No.
But I'll continue the conversation like you did.
Oh my gosh, Zac!
He was beautiful, man. A beautiful man.
Zac Efron knows Jeff Schroeder.
That's crazy.
We went to the Comedy Store together, and then to the den after.
Really?
Oh my!
Like together? You walked together?
Well, I was a friend of a friend, but I'm done name dropping. Yeah. I just got back from Hollywood, so
You're done?
It's in me right now. Yeah, it's got to wash off.
And Palm Springs.
Yeah.